Welcome to Mr. Giant Reacts and Ting and Ting and Ting. I'm Mr. Giant, and today we're watching things about homes in the US that puzzle foreigners. I don't think too much puzzled me about the homes in America. Well, let me see here. Maybe something did puzzle me and I don't remember it. So let's YouTube and simmer and see, what's puzzling us foreigners about US homes.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 things about homes in the USA that puzzle foreigners. If you live in the United States, I'm sure you see all the things in your home as totally normal. But around the world, people have totally different houses. And if you're not from the US, then prepare to be stunned by the weird things Americans have in their homes. But first, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too?
Let's see.
Coming up first, we have single faucets. In many countries, for example the UK, you have two different taps or faucets. But hop across the pond and there's only one. That's right, the American ethos is one faucet to rule them all. In many countries, you have to choose between washing your hands in boiling hot water or freezing cold water. Or if you're a genius, you can turn them on both at the same time and have medium water. But in the USA, there's just one faucet the water comes out of. This will be the case in almost every kitchen and bathroom in the USA. Instead of having one hot and one cold tap, there's just one. Usually you simply turn that one single tap to hot or cold. The reason why the USA only has one faucet is because their plumbing system is different from many other countries. In countries where there's two taps, water usually sits in a tank where it's not deemed to be safe. That's because the water's been sitting building up bacteria for too long. Next up,
I've been up here so long, I have to sit and think. I think we just have one faucet too, but we didn't have hot and cold. We didn't need hot on the island. Now, the question is hot for hygiene reasons, or is it just, when winter comes around, nobody wants to have really cold water to use, or is it both? But I think we only have one faucet on the island. But maybe that's because, hey, poor countries, we ain't got no extra money for no two faucet houses. I do believe the older houses may have two faucets because of the European influence on the island. But as far as I could remember, there was just one. Well, that's something I never really paid attention to. I knew there was going to be some stuff on there that's going to make me go, what the hell? What am I thinking here? What's going on? All right, let's get going.
up is huge refrigerators. You may assume that refrigerators are all made equal, but that's simply not the case. One internet user said they did a house swap with their friends from the UK. When they got to their home in the UK, they actually had to call their friends and ask where the fridge was. When they were told, they were surprised, as they thought their normal fridge was some kind of mini fridge. That's because refrigerators in the USA are huge, or huge. Instead of them having one door, it's actually common for them to have two. They may also be kitted out with fancy gadgets like ice makers. And some smart fridges now even have screens, but I'm pretty sure most people in America don't have them. The reason why is because American food is often sold in larger packaging. Not only that, people in America often buy more groceries than those in the rest of the world. Also, outside of the USA, many people leave foods outside of the fridge. For example, in many countries, eggs, butter, cheese and beer are left out of the fridge. Next up is...
Nah, we don't leave butter out because that would melt in that hot sun. And we didn't have a massive fridge neither. And of course, this was the 70s, so there was no ice maker. Because everything comes down there 20 years later. Maybe not so much now, But that's that size thing again, man. Everything is bigger up here. So, the fridge definitely has to be bigger. That's crazy.
is toilets. Now, for a very essential room in every house, the bathroom. There are actually a few toilet differences in the USA compared to the rest of the world. First off, American toilets are much lower down than the ones in Europe.
So that's what it is. Ouch. Oh wow! I mean, I'm sorry I cut it in the middle of it there, but I was thinking the other day I was using the bathroom, and the older I get, man, it's hard to go up and down like that. And I'm sitting down there like, so the bathrooms in the rest of the world are naturally bigger, so that's why I was more comfortable sitting on the toilet at home. Because yeah, man, they make that for children, I tell you, not for giants like me. But wow. There's another difference that I didn't pay attention to. I thought they were all the same size. But in retrospect, wow.
European toilets are usually much, much higher than American toilets for some
Most
reason.
deaf.
Some say the reason why America has low-sitting toilets is because it's more like how our caveman ancestors squatted on the ground. It's actually more natural to squat near the ground to do our business. For some reason, Americans have taken this into account, while the rest of the world has not. But that's not the only difference about American toilets. If you're not American and go to visit the States, you may assume your toilet's being clogged. This could be hugely embarrassing, but don't worry, it may not be the case. That's because in America, their toilet bowls are full of water. Instead of there only being a small bit of water, the toilet bowls are usually pretty full up. This prevents the bowls getting too dirty and staining the porcelain white. This also means that American toilets smell better and they don't have to be brushed as often. But the downside is there's an increase in splashing, if you know what I mean. And finally, one extra difference about American toilets is sometimes there's a gap.
Wait a minute, that's another thing. I didn't have splashing back home. Y'all a tricky boy.
Gap in the toilet seat. You may see these on public toilets or people's toilets in their homes. If you're not American, you may ask, what is this? Well, the idea is, in public toilets, you're supposed to put toilet seat covers in. This provides some extra hygiene. But what about in your own home? Well, you can put things, for example, toilet seat covers over to make it warmer. That's right, you can actually buy fuzzy toilet seat covers to make your toilet seat warmer. Next up is single floor. This one isn't about a single room in an American home. Instead, it's a fact about American houses in general. If you go to most countries, houses will have at least 2 floors, sometimes 3. But in the USA, despite their houses being very big, they're usually all on 1 floor. In the UK, these would be known as bungalows. They're actually pretty uncommon, but in the States, single-floor homes are the norm. In the USA, homes are usually spread out horizontally, but in many places, for example European countries, they're more vertical. Next up is garbage disposals. Around the world, if you have food waste, you simply put it in the trash. But in the USA, you may put it down your sink. That is because in America, they have something called garbage disposals. Over 50% of American homes have a garbage disposal, but they're pretty much unheard of in every other country. Some say these provide better sanitation and limit smells coming from your trash can. The reason why many countries don't have garbage disposals is because in-sink garbage disposals are banned in many countries.
Oh wow.
The reason why is because many countries don't want food waste added to wastewater. That's because it will use more energy again at a later date to separate it into sewage waste.
Oh.
And some sewage plants are too small and would need an upgrade to do this. Next up, we have flags. If there's one thing Americans love, it's their flag. People from outside the USA will be stunned to know that kids actually pledge allegiance to the flag every morning in school. And if you travel around the USA, you'll see many homes with at least one flag outside their home. This may be on a flagpole or hanging off their house. This isn't something you'll see in many countries, but the USA have a strong sense of pride when it comes to their flag. And finally on the list of things about American homes that puzzle foreigners, we have ACs. In many countries, having an AC is not very common. And in some countries like the UK, you'll see things such as radiators to heat homes. But in the USA, ACs aren't just common, it's how they're used which is odd. Instead of opening a window, taking off a few layers, or using a fan, Americans may keep their ACs running all through the summer. This is not the most cost-efficient way to do things, but it does feel really nice. One French man moved to Boston wrote online about his experiences in America in the summer. He said, "Why do you guys leave the AC on when there's so many windows?" He complained that many buildings he went into were actually too cold.
Yeah.
And really the reason why AC is left on is because it's all about the luxury. There's no need to worry about acclimatizing or changing clothing when you can keep your home exactly how you want it. If you're not from America, then vote in the poll in the top right corner about the most weird thing in American home.
I am telling you, man. Okay, if any one of you all travel to America that's watching this video, comment down below and tell me what's the weirdest thing you've seen here in general, or the weirdest thing you've encountered. And if you're an American and you've traveled to Europe or any part of the world, what's the weirdest thing you've seen or encountered? Comment down below. I'd love to see what you all have to say there, you know what I mean, and thing, because I've done a little traveling in my time, you know what I mean, and I've seen strange things. I might share some too, hit me up in the comment section. Anyway, man, y'all be good to each other. Cool runnings.